All right, welcome to the Our Healing Voices podcast and YouTube channel. I'm Aaron Lehman. I'm your host, and if this is your first Our Healing Voices podcast interview, welcome. If you've been around, welcome back. And just for those of you who are brand new, I want to give you a quick little intro as to where this all began. So 2020, beginning of 2020, I just was like, I've been talking about oils. I was a massage guy, had done a little yoga training with my wife, and so really intrigued by natural wellness things. And just was like, there's so many cool humans that I keep meeting. I'm like, there's so many like incredible humans, resilient humans, humans that make me go, what? What? How? Like, I'm just like so amazed. And so I want to know more. I want to know more. Like, I'm one of those guys that rolls into a coffee shop and is like, what? How are they reading that book?
Mm-hmm.
I want to know where that, how they, what led them to that book. And so, yes, that honestly, that curiosity is one of the biggest reasons I created this podcast, was just to create a space where I can interview folks, learn about their body, mind, spirit, wellness, evolution, and their journey here, and just kind of deep dive in and see what I might learn, see what you might discover in listening in. And also the second piece, which kind of goes hand in hand, is just the power of our voices.
Mm.
I was raised by two counselors, and so since the get-go, like I felt safe to talk and to use my voice. But I know that's not reality for the majority. And so just I also was like, dude, more people. There's so many strong, powerful voices. There's resilient people around us, all around us, all the time, right? And so it's like, if we can highlight and allow somebody to have the opportunity to share some of what they've learned, what they've gone through, how they've navigated, gone up, down, and around, I think that's big time. I think that's where love can be found. I think that's where transformation can happen, where curiosity meets resilience meets like, let's grow together. Let's grow together. Let's heal together. All right, there it is. So there it is. So thanks for being here. This is, and I don't, this is hilarious. I don't even know what episode I'm on. Like, I believe this is episode 52, and I'm excited to have Lance Huffman here with me. Lance and I, dude, crazy.
I was just thinking about that.
It's so cool.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It was either 08,
7, 8.
07, 8.
Yeah, somewhere around.
I don't even think I went to the first one. But Lance and another amazing dude, Mike, came over to the high school I was working at and helped facilitate a unity and diversity long weekend training. And just like life-changing for me as like a 29-year-old, I think. Bringing students up, some of which from all different backgrounds, come up to this zone up in Prescott, and again just would like deep dive into having a safe place to be together, a safe place to be honest, a safe place to get really real and raw. And dude, I freaking loved your heart from then.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, it was like, it was like, I loved your heart and hugs, and was like, yeah, I'm gonna know Lance for a long time.
Yeah. And
here
we are.
It was very clear.
Yeah.
It was very clear. So here we are 17 years-ish later.
Yeah.
Dude. And on that note, thanks for being here. Thanks for doing this interview. And
it's a pleasure.
Yeah. And I want to start with, how'd you get here? Right? I mean, how'd you get here? Like, because how, and even then, like that whole evolution, that iteration of who you are, like, are there some specific pivotal moments in your life journey here that has you showing up now as you are?
Yeah, man. Man, it's hard to even like, there's part of me that's hard to connect to that 17 years ago. Like that feels like an imaginary time. I mean, but so does yesterday sometimes to me, right? I think if you'll indulge me for a minute, there's something that's been on my mind that I wanted to say as I was like, sort of thinking about talking to you, and by virtue of talking to you, talking to your audience.
Mm-hmm.
There's this notion that, if you're going to be on a podcast, that you might have something to say, right? Right. And so I think about that guy 17 years ago, this guy and the other guy that was, and he was pretty sure of himself on a lot of things. That's the one thing I would. Same. He thought he knew some things, and maybe a thing or two.
Right.
And one of my oldest friends, he's shared this quote that was one of his dad's favorite quotes, from Voltaire. I'm not sure I'm gonna get it exactly right, but it says something like, "I cherish those people who are seeking the truth, but beware of those people who found it." I'm nervous about claiming anything, especially the older I get. So, like lately, I've just been really like leaning into the notions of like wonder and awe, and those are on the other end of the spectrum from like certainty. I used to, like I said, I used to be pretty sure of myself on a lot of things, and when you think about things like that, part of the reason I'm saying this too is sort of like a caveat. I'm sure the conversation's going to go along, and I'm going to sound like I'm sure of things through the next hour or so. And I just want to put out there for other people, but also for myself, like, it's okay to wonder. And there's a lot of like polarities in this world: good and evil, true and false, and right and wrong. And I'm sort of in the wonder and certainty thing right now. Like, look, I want to be in this wonderment. I want to be in awe. And I don't need answers to be quite so firm. The longer I can stay here. But you think about things like science and math and these things that feel like they land in the certainty column. And I've got this history of the kind of mind that wants to be reasonable and rational and evidence-based. I've got a lot of education, and I was in education. I want things to make sense, right? But science and math, they came. Somebody invented those, and they came out of the original scientists and mathematicians called themselves philosophers, and they were seeking truth. Like, how are we going to figure out what's even real? So the genesis, the origin story of certainty, or truth, is wonder. I wonder what's going on. I wonder what the heck is going on. And I'm getting so much juice, man, out of like being in wonderment. Because the other thing that's also true, which I think we'll touch on, is these are kind of scary times, man. There's a lot going on in the world, and people are really uncertain, and I don't think it's hard to own that. It's because uncertainties can be scary. So I feel like if I can keep myself open to awe and wonder, then I'm less likely to be shutting other people down, shutting myself down, closing myself off. It leaves more room for possibility. And we're gonna need imagination and creativity to get us out of the mess we're in this world right now. So anyway, that's just a caveat I wanted to throw out there for that. Like, I'm going to try and stay curious this whole time that we're talking. And I know I'll sound certain at times, but I'm not certain of much of anything, except that you and I are here. Love is real. And things are amazing. And even when they're terrifying, they're amazing. Okay. So
Yeah, love it.
Now that,
Thanks for that.
yeah. So you're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for letting me
Yeah.
indulge on that.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes when I think about the journey, like how did I end up here? Somebody asked me this recently. I was in a year-long nature-based soul retrieval program that was phenomenal. Maybe I'll get into that a little bit. Somebody asked me, how'd you end up here? They asked the same, when did this start for you?
Right.
I'm like, well, it was either 7 years ago or 14 billion years ago. Like, I don't know how to pinpoint. There are moments I can look at and say, that's this thing that I'm doing started then. But also, like, haven't we always been in this kind of stream, like since the beginning of all of this? So, but I could say that like 7 years ago, I was in grad school, and you and I met, as you said, in public education, but like sort of adjacent. We were doing this cool thing with kids and adults, but it was in the public education space. I was pretty disillusioned, dismayed with public ed, and I sought a path that I thought would get me somewhere, and I was fortunate enough to get this really cool, prestigious program that was going to push my thinking. I'm in that program back east, and I still found myself in this darkness. I was kind of lonely. I was struggling with things like belonging. My partner and I mean, we have a deep love for each other, but we were kind of on different pages at that point. So I was feeling really disconnected from myself, my soul, my purpose, the world. And that word belonging was really important. Yeah. And I was, but the one thing that was kind of working was my meditation practice was kind of on point. And I had a lot of time in the morning, so I was meditating, and I had a couple of just really deep experiences where I mean, I could go down some weird paths in this hour discussion where who knows what I'm talking about, but like I saw my future self, and he was a kind and decent and seemed to have his act together kind of dude who was loving toward me, the guy that was felt lost and alone. I encountered him. I encountered my future self, and he actually held me by the face. Like felt like a real physical thing. And he told me, like, look, I've been waiting for this. I've been waiting for you. Like, you're on the path. Keep going. So from that was 7 years ago, almost to this day. Really, it was winter break 7 years ago, and in that time, I've been to a bunch of silent meditation retreats, and I've enlisted the support of some of our plant allies in the world, and I've spent a lot of time on the land, listening to the voices of the wind and trees and ravens and bear and red-tailed hawk and the soil talking to me about what we are doing here. And I learned to listen better than I used to. So therapy has also helped. So all of that, though, I thought, I'm on this path to kind of get back and make education work. Right. And somewhere in there, probably about 3 years ago, my partner was at she's been in the healing, her, she's been in the healing space for a long time, body work and yoga and breath work. And she was at a breath work training, and she called me and she said, hey, look, I had this vision. You and I are going to be doing healing work together. And I'm like, at that point, that guy was like, I don't know what that means, man. Like, I have a job. I am working. I go to a job. They give me money. I got health insurance. Right. I've got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? What is it? And I go, what? I don't know what you're talking. What does that mean? She goes, I don't know, but it's going to happen. And I'm like, I trust her, but also I'm like, that part of my brain is like, I don't know what this means. So, I mean, wouldn't you know it? Like 3 years later, I retire. I'm like, I can't do this anymore. I mean, I love the people in public education. I love their dedication and their heart. And I love the kids, of course. And teachers are some of my favorite people. And I don't think that system is serving us right now. I had to get out. I just, they're not serving any of those people, the kids, the teachers, the admin, the parents, our communities. It's like serving a thing that doesn't work in anymore. So I retired. I went on a vision quest down on the land. My partner sent me to a healer training, how to facilitate breath work. And here I here I am, like living out a vision she had a few years ago. And then something that is kind of magical that I think we'll talk more about is magical sounds almost. It's not quite the right word for it. I've also encountered in the last year and a half this deep well of grief that that is in our world, but also ignored. It's been ignored in me, and tapping that well of grief. And now I'm in a training, an apprenticeship really with some elders up in the Pacific Northwest who trace their lineage all the way back to West Africa and the Dagara people, to really hold space for people to grieve many different kinds of things. And my partner and I are trying to figure this way out now to combine these different healing modalities of grieving, breathing, body work, that brings more connection to the world. So that was, that's the Cliff Note version answer of how I got here. I mean, if I went back to the 14 billion year beginning, it might take too long to figure out a lot happened, but that's how I got here right now. There's a lot going on.
Yeah.
And it's a joyful, sorrowful, grieving, loving ride. So yeah, thanks for asking.
Oh man.
And then getting right here,
Yeah.
like in your yard,
right.
in your space with you, like, I mean, I could say I took the 805, but like the real answer is that like 17 years ago, our hearts connected.
Yeah.
And then it's hard to disconnect from that. You have to do some active work and I don't want to do that.
Right.
My heart's connected to your heart.
Yeah.
So you asked me to come sit and chat about this stuff and maybe do some work together.
Yeah.
I'm all in, brother. Like this is
yeah.
this is just love that got me to here to your backyard.
Yeah. So good. I mean, even just hearing you just go through that. First, the intro part, I mean, just help. I don't know about you all, but it helps me just take a deep breath, right? This like desire for certainty, and yet the humility to recognize just how unique each of our brains are, each of our hearts are. And so, we're going to look at the flame a little bit differently.
Yeah, man.
And so it's like,
that's right.
So I appreciate that reminder.
Oh, can I say something about that?
Yeah.
Oh man. I had this thought like somewhere in this last year, like maybe what you just said, that's kind of what we're doing here. I mean, the big we. Like instead of all of this is what's happening. This is how I explain everything. What if we just always were just with everybody going, hey man, how's it going with you? Like this is a ride. Like our souls came to this plane from where? From the great big thing called existence. And each of us is experiencing this, and the collective experience, the interweaving of all of those experiences is what my friend Calvin calls the one song, the universe, one song. Like that's the one song. And if I'm always, and here I am talking, if I'm always talking about what I think is real, I'm not hearing like the bigger song. So, and what you just said is like how you see the flame. Like we should be curious. It's so, if we were just with everybody, even people we disagree with, like what's it like for you, man? What's it like to be you right now in this space? If we could start connecting on that level, no problems we couldn't solve.
It's so funny as you're sharing. I'm like, part of me thinks about like the Industrial Revolution and just how like everything just sped up.
Oh yeah.
And to where we're at right now.
Yeah.
So then when it's like, I think, I just feel like conversations that are not rushed feel so good. And I would imagine there's more of us. I would imagine the people that pop on this podcast or listen on YouTube, like are like, okay,
Yeah.
oh, we're slowing down here.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
These guys aren't on a sprint, like there's not like because I think we get information so fast. And so then it has us in this more. Give me the 7-second version, right?
Mm-hmm.
Give me the
Yeah.
snapshot,
Yeah.
not the breath shot,
Yeah.
not the, and so, wow. And so, wow. And then you talking about going east in the meditation, boom, see this vision, like, hey, I know I just want to be this kind
Mm-hmm.
presence
Mm-hmm.
till my end, till my end of days, right? I mean,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
and so, and then partner sees a vision of healing options. You've had spent how many years you spent in public education?
31.
Yeah, 31 years.
Yeah. And that's a
bless it up, dude. That is insane. Like, that's big work.
It is big work. And it's also a pretty, how would I say it? It's a traditional kind of system, it's like, it's built on, not a lot of rocking the boat.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, but it's important work too.
Yeah.
But yeah, thanks for
that. Well, I just know, I know your heart, and I got to visit his classroom. Shoot, I don't know, when Emily was still there.
Oh yeah.
So it was it's been a minute. But popped in your classroom and just hearing you and the kid, oh my gosh. So
yeah, man, it's so amazing. I know you have the same experience.
Yeah.
Well, we could just never get to question 2.
Yeah. No,
right?
but
But like I have this, I want to say friend. He's really a mentor.
Yeah.
But he's one of my former students.
Amazing.
He's back east.
Amazing.
He's back east in North Carolina. Leads this really great land-based healing work. He's got a couple of master's degrees. I think he's getting a new one as a therapist. I mean, he's just a dialed in human being.
Yeah.
Emily knows him really well. They're friends.
Yeah.
And I was a little bit wandering around in the wilderness. Lost in my own head. And I reached out to him. And just so lovingly, he's like, hey, I think you should go do this. You should go get out on the land and for real and like listen to some trees. He gave me some real good advice. Wow. And so now he's a former student who's now we're flip roles. Yeah, I met him at camp. Yeah. The same thing. Yeah. But he was like 14 years old. And then I taught him when he was 17, and now he's like in his early 30s, and he's given me all kind of wisdom. This is one of the blessings, right? Of being if you're an open kind of teacher who doesn't think they know everything, then you're going to end up with these long relationships with really cool people. Okay. Other teachers, kids who become not kids anymore and know things. Totally. Yeah. So totally.
Amazing.
Yeah. Really cool.
Yeah. And then, okay. So then to jump to the grief.
Yeah.
And the bringing together of Heidi's, of your partner's amazing gifts, your gifts and what you offer, and then co-facilitating. I actually, my dad and sister and I just recently were in Flagstaff. We were in Sedona and then popped up to Flagstaff because the two of them hosted a grief and breathwork event, which was just game changing for me. I needed it so badly. I needed it so badly on all sorts of levels.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good to hear. Yeah. Yeah. I look at I had a friend ask me about the Arizona trip, and I was like, I immediately went straight to that. I was like, it was a therapeutic visit. Yeah. Like it was therapy. Yeah. And so anyway, I just want to affirm you and Heidi on that page that you got what you created in that. I mean, you literally just retired. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like in June or whatever. Yeah. So it's like, that was November.
Yeah.
And so cool what you guys have already uncovered together, whether that's becomes a regular thing or if it morphs or whatever. I just big love for that.
Thank you.
And what you created for that crew that was there that night. There was 22 of us. 22 of us. I was shocked because there was freaking dudes in the building. Like back in 2007 when I was going to yoga, yoga classes, it was like me, one other dude, and 27 gals, in the yoga class.
Yeah.
So to show up to a grief and breathwork event.
And it was half.
Half
the guys, half the people were men. Yeah.
So that also was like, that was like, gave me some hope.
Yeah.
for that we're leaning in together.
Yeah.
Maybe there's more leaning in together happening right now.
Something is happening, and I know we're going to talk more about that too. Something is happening in the space. You and I are both in some of these circles where there's men who are willing and engaging in these hard isn't even quite the right word, heartfelt. It's I think I was trained to say hard because we as men or men presenting in this society are trained not to do those things, not to open our hearts up to each other, not to hold witness to our fellow brothers who are struggling. And so, but something's happening because, like you said, you put the word out and 22 people show up. I mean, I marveled at it a little bit to think, you say you're putting on a grief event,
Right.
and 22 folks show up to give their time to this thing. And like, what's that about? What's in the swirl right now that people are feeling like, yeah, I need to be in a space with other people to grieve. Something's going on.
Mm-hmm.
And to have it, half of them be men, meant a lot to me.
Mm-hmm.
And you could tell it meant something to people. And there was at least one comment in the room from a person, I assume is a woman, saying she was heartened by the men in the room who were willing to do this work. So yeah, really important. And so glad you were there, man.
Yeah. So that makes me want to jump to specifically just about, we're all in unique zones, right? In our journey. As like as you mentioned, your partner was in a massage. I mean, you were doing diversity and inclusion activities and unity, events for the last 20 years, plus years, right?
Yeah.
Had a heart for connecting people. And also just like your own evolution, right? Your own, like the meditation. The thought that popped into my brain is, I think a lot of us hear like, oh, you have a meditation practice, and some of us start sweating. We're like, wait, what's like? So what do I got to do? What do I got? Like, so I still have not chosen, to have a sitting practice.
Yeah.
And yet, anytime I talk to anybody who has a sitting practice, I'm like, it's probably time.
Yeah.
It's probably time. You can't, like, as much as I meditate while I'm listening to music,
sure.
like I have other meditative forms. So how did you get into this, maybe you want to just share about the healing arts world? Was it the meditation 7 years ago, or was it before then? Was it anyway?
Oh yeah, this is actually a really good question. Let me I started talking before you even finished, so I'm sorry.
No, you're good. You're good.
Yeah, I've been sitting pretty regularly. I hardly miss a day for about the last 20 years. And I would actually consider meditation for all of the other things that have come on board in the last 7 years. Meditation is a pillar. And it's the single most critical element of my own being, I think. It's been my meditation. And I came to it because I was the friend I mentioned who gave me the Voltaire quote. He and I used to hang out every weekend. We go climbing, we go hiking, we work out. And somehow in some early, not very hyper masculine moment, we admitted to each other. And I've been friends with this guy since I was 14 years old. So we admitted to each other that we had this daily like pain in our chest, and we didn't know what it was. Right? It was just a like dread every day. And I don't know who said it first, but we both had this.
Wow.
And instead of going to meditate, to work out, we should go meditate. How we got lucky. And it took, I had tried a bunch of times to meditate before that. I'd sat, but it just didn't catch. And we got lucky. We found a good teacher who was, he's this Scottish guy, Zen monk, shaved head, black robes, but from Scotland.
Yeah.
And had a foul mouth. And I remember him saying, so as you were talking about, having trouble sitting there, somebody asked him once, like, what are you doing when you sit there? He goes, I'm just sitting here. She goes, That's it. It's not that easy.
It's not that. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
yeah.
but if I ever write a book, it might be about how I got myself into how I got myself into a steady practice, because I know how hard it is.
Yeah.
It took years where I was tricking myself. I had to use all kinds of tricks to get myself to sit there in the beginning, it was like 3 minutes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm just going to, this many breaths,
Yeah.
and then you can have some coffee, like there's all of these tricks and something about the everydayness of it. That habit just built until I got to that place 7 years ago when it was, now I sit for an hour every morning, and I couldn't miss it. I couldn't miss it any more than I could miss breathing, every day. If I don't do it. So anyway, it just takes practice. I mean, that sounds like such an easy thing to say. And you can start small. It's like one of those, like Atomic Habits kind of thing.
Yeah.
Do it for a minute.
Yeah.
People want to reach out. I'll share all the tricks.
Totally.
How I got from a minute to an hour, and it took a long time.
Yeah.
And that is a theme. It doesn't. There's no quick fix.
Yeah. Yeah.
So anyway,
I love that. I love that. And on that note, so if somebody is brand new, right, and they're like, oh, okay, I mean, Instagram, Facebook,
yeah,
they do some crappy things to all of our
Yeah,
brains, and also
but
they lead us to some pretty dope humans and
that's
some
right.
pretty dope things,
Mhm.
like some pretty amazing things happening. So like, but I know it's also can inundate us
Mhm.
so much so that then like we don't know where to start.
Yeah.
And so I guess I'm just thinking about like if somebody pops on, here's this podcast in the next 5 years, like
Yeah.
5 years, what would you suggest to somebody who's just like brand new to the body, mind, spirit, heart healing world?
Specifically in meditation?
No, specific, just like in general, when there's a
Oof.
smorgasbord
Yeah.
of modalities, and sometimes it's like, do I stare at the flower? Maybe that's what I need to do. Like maybe I'm just gonna do flower meditations every
Yeah.
day, or what's the.
I mean, I think if you do flower meditations every day, you're going to be good and good. You'll be doing great.
It's a good spot.
That's a good, yeah, it's a good spot to start. But if we want to get practical, almost in terms of hacks, I might suggest that on Spotify, and probably you can go right to our website too. Tara Brach is like one of the OGs in the meditation space. I mean, she's in the Tibetan practice or Vipassana practice, and she puts out a guided meditation at least once a week. And you go on Spotify and look up Tara Brach.
And I think I found her through the loving kindness meditation, like a loving kindness meditation at some point.
Yeah. That's out there. And so if you want to get started, you can just sit there, put the AirPods in. She's got ones that are 6 minutes all the way up to maybe 20 minutes, and find one that's the right length for you and just follow along. You can listen to the same one every day for a while.
Yeah.
That's a good place to start. But bigger picture around this healing work, boy, this almost goes back to the first thing I said about certainty and wonderment. I think I would recommend folks really go slow. I think one of the things about this Instagram world that you mentioned is there is a kind of notion that we can learn a modality, go get certified in some modality, then instantly turn that into, I'm a healer now. And I want to say, like, bro, like, you need to sit there for a while. Like, I've spent so much time unlearning so many things, and now I don't have answers, but I have a bigger heart. So I think people need to go slow. I think people need to practice humility. And that doesn't mean that if you have something of value that you can add to people's lives, that you don't share it. But go slow. And I think something you mentioned earlier about, the Industrial Revolution and the speed of things and how fast we can get knowledge. There's a great quote from Bayo Akomolafe who says, the times are urgent. We must slow down. Like it feels counterintuitive to our Western mind.
Say that again for me.
The times are urgent. We must slow down. like in this world, everything's so fast, and it feels like, and it feels like there's no time to slow down, right? Everything's happening so fast. If I'm tuned into the problems that are going on in the world and I don't move fast, think about the pressure that people are putting on themselves for that. Like, what am I going to do to stop the collapse of Western civilization?
Yeah.
Well, I better move quick. Maybe if we all just slowed down, we could look around a bit and see each other's hearts. So slowing down, I think a sitting practice is really good. Humility, like be in wonder as much as possible. Find a good therapist. Man, I mean, I don't know if we say that enough. Find a good therapist, somebody who's going to hold that space for you and help you see your own mind and the patterns that you have. Listen to really good music. Really good music. Oh, you and I are fans of this. Trevor Hall. Oh, yeah. And he's got, he said, you can't rush your healing. You can't rush your healing is one of his best songs, I think. So go slow, be patient with yourself. I think that's what I would recommend. That's the advice I would give. I even, might even say something about the word healing. Heidi and I were talking about this morning. Yeah. Healing has a sort of implied end. Like I'm healed. And that's probably a product of our Western medical model, a West industrial model. There's a thing that's broken. I'll fix it. Yeah. And if that broken thing is in my emotional state or my physical state, I'll heal it. Yeah. And what I think I'm sort of shifting to instead of healing is wholing, becoming whole. Like these parts that are wounded. I don't even want to say broken, but wounded in me, that are fragile, that are tender. I want to bring them close. And I want to give love to those parts of myself and say, you're welcome here too. Yeah. So, I mean, there's so much I could say, but I think going slow, be patient. God, it's hard to do in this world. Is be patient with ourselves. And part of me wants to give permission to people. Kurt Vonnegut said, we're really just here to fart around. Like this whole notion that like we got to be productive all the time. Like, and I take him to mean like we're here to experience things. Yeah. So like let's be patient. Yeah. That's my that's beautiful winded advice. That's beautiful. But yeah, go slow. Yeah.
I've been in the world, the holing world, the healing arts world for a while. And even just hearing those, it's like just a breath of fresh air, right? Of like the patience, the slowing it down. Yeah. Tara Brach, the sitting practice of some sort, or finding somebody that you vibe with, right? I mean, whether it's music, it's like that uplifts you, or good pieces. I love that. I love that.
Thank you.
Okay. Currently, like, are there specific things that are most exciting you right now, that are giving you energy, right? And you mentioned at the beginning, and I'm going to kind of blend two questions together, but the world, if I pull up CNN or Fox News or NPR or BBC, like I'm not going to leave that website feeling super stoked.
Right.
Just because there is some real rough things going on. Near and far. And so that the blend is, while all that, all that's happening.
Yeah. It's happening.
Right. All that's happening. How are you finding hope? How are you finding hope?
Yeah.
While that's there. While that's there, I mean, and our hearts are there. We're connected to them, to wherever that is, but how do you hang on to hope amidst the fires that seem to be burning everywhere?
Yeah.
And then kind of maybe that can flow into because I would imagine what you're learning right now is also very energizing too. You know, like that's also part of the hope. But maybe that's part of the hope.
Yeah.
I think that's why I brought them together.
Yeah.
But play with those two.
Trust your intuition.
Yeah,
That's a good blending of those.
Like, yeah.
Yeah, I know your intuition's right on this. Yeah, I mean, I'm going to be honest. There are days the hope seems far away.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't often turn on BBC, Fox, MSNBC. I don't often do that.
Yeah.
But it's not like I can escape it.
Right.
It's in the air.
Mm-hmm.
And it's on my Instagram or whatever. It's gonna find me.
Mm-hmm.
And it should find me, honestly. I'm not trying to hide from the despair of the world.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, Heidi and I were talking about this last night. Sometimes it's hard for me to be in small talk and stuff because she probed, she asked some really good questions. And where I landed was like, I want to turn people on to their grief. Now that sounds like a strange thing in this world. I gotta give credit to the lineage that I'm learning in this school of thought that I'm learning through. Sobonfu and Malidoma Some came from the Dagara people in West Africa. And their village, like, blessed them and sent them to the West saying, look, these people over here are sitting on so much unmetabolized grief that it's wreaking havoc on the whole world. So I honestly think that what's happening with this stuff that you just alluded to, the fires that are burning, real and metaphorical, a lot of it comes from us not grieving. Well, what does that mean? Stephen Jenkinson, who we also read a lot of. Stephen Jenkinson, a great book called Die Wise. He's got a lot of YouTube interviews I would recommend as well. Stephen Jenkinson talks about our culture being one that doesn't believe in endings. And that's part of the problem. And that feels also rooted in some of the Buddhist informed practices of impermanence, that if we can recognize that things end and that it's not only okay, it's absolutely appropriate for us to feel the loss of those things. That opens a portal into the love that we have. We don't grieve things we don't love. But Jenkinson would also say we can't love things if we're not going to also grieve them. So grieving, and that doesn't, in the West, we think of grief as the loss of a one whom we love, our beloved, or a parent or a child. And yes, that's an important kind of grief. But there's grief for the parts of ourselves that haven't known love. There's grief for the things that our souls desired but never received. There's grief for this living planet that is suffering. There's grief for all the humans and other than human beings on this planet. There's our ancestral grief. So but when we start to allow ourselves to feel these things deeply, it opens up so much love. It becomes impossible, in my experience, to not feel more love. And as an adult, I think if I was my child self, I'd be like, well, that doesn't seem fair. Can I just have the love without the grief?
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate. No, we don't. Yeah. Grief is how we love those who have gone. Yeah. It's how we love those parts of ourselves we've missed. So grief and love are midwives that give birth to each other. So feeling that grief. So that comes a deep gratitude to the Dagara people and Sobonfu and Malidoma Some, and also the people that they've taught here who I'm getting to learn from, Francis Weller and Lawrence Cole, Therese Charvet, just beautiful people. And then there's one other, to connect this to the hope, quite more specifically, we just lost an elder this summer, Joanna Macy. I think she was in her mid-90s. And just like a human, we should all try to aspire to be. She was a deep Buddhist practitioner and an activist in the anti-nuclear proliferation movement, going all the way back into the 60s. just an incredible ecologist and environmentalist and a deeply connected woman. And her movement, which you can still get online, is called The Work That Reconnects. So people should check out Joanna Macy's work. She had a book that came out about 15 years ago that I read somewhat recently called Active Hope. So connecting this.
Yeah.
And what she says is, I think this is so perfect. Let's imagine the world that we want to live in. Let's imagine how it could be connected, loving, interdependent. Everybody's needs are cared for, and also deeply full of love and also grief. Let's imagine that. And then hope, active hope, is just working towards that. Yeah. And so people ask her sometimes, well, is it gonna work? Like, do you think we're gonna get there? And I think she'd say something like, I mean, she's probably more eloquent than me, but she'd say something like, that's not the right question. What else would you do than work toward that thing? But what she points to is our current business as usual, industrial, extraction, disconnected way of living is going to have to crumble. So there's this business as usual phase. And what we might be in right now is what she called, and other people have called, the great unraveling. Yeah. But after that can be the great turning, where we turn toward each other. Wow. And by each other, it's not just humans. It's, these beautiful trees and plants and flowers and the soil and this earth and this cosmos and all of when we turn towards each other. But that isn't going to happen without us letting go of some ways we've been. But like, what else would we do? Yeah. Say it can't? Yeah. It might not happen, but like, yeah. Am I gonna not put myself in the path of that? Yeah. So it's like a distinction. I think you had Mike, the guy who helped direct those programs years ago. I think you had him on the podcast, and he's fond of saying, "Oh, he did, yeah. He's fond of saying, calling it hopium. Like, don't get all caught up in hope. Like, it's just a drug to get yourself from not looking at. Like, I get what he means. Yeah, but like, active hope is a different thing. Yeah, like, I'm not being impractical. Let's move towards the thing we want. Yeah. So that's. But in order to do that, we got to feel. Totally. We got to feel the loss. We got to feel the sorrow, which opens us to the love. Yeah. Which gives us imagination, and then we start working towards a thing. I mean, this is all. Yeah. This is all. What else would we do? Right. What else is there? Yeah.
Yeah, and the deep dive. Yeah. So returning to the beginning, you said that the the small talk is challenging. Like
yeah.
Rolling to the bar and watching the Suns with me, we could enjoy it. We would enjoy it.
Yeah.
But we'd probably talk about our moms.
Yeah, that's right.
We'd probably talk about our moms.
Yeah.
Or something, my mom liked the Suns.
Yeah.
I would be telling you about my mom.
Which would mean invite me to talk about my mom.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So,
of course.
But I hear you, like, so gotcha. Dude, good stuff on that. So I hear you saying it's like just continuing to dive in to your own grief.
Yeah.
Which connects you.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, which is part of the connection, which then puts you into active love.
Right.
And moving toward.
Yeah. And you got to experience it a little bit in that room when we grieved, and then we breathed together and we connected. Yeah. And this is what the Dogger people know that we are having to learn or remember. Yeah. Probably a better way to put it. You don't grieve alone. Yeah. You grieve in community. Yeah. When we start doing that, when you start being held, it's like, oh, there's another world possible than the one we've been living, which is all disconnected. Oh. Yeah. So yeah, what you said is, I cut you off again.
No, and I'm just rehashing, but it's that takes me into the connection, right? I mean, the community, the accountability, right? That sometimes I look at my life, right? And I'm like, oh my gosh, I've met so many transformational people, I'm like, how is this possible?
Yeah.
That Gary Zimmerman showed up in my life, when I was freaking newborn, that I got to experience he and his wife, like, as a baby, and then grew into, now I'm friends with their oldest daughter. And they're no longer here, but
Yeah.
like, anyway, I can just go off
Hmm.
about how all these different connections, right? These different lights. I guess that's for me as as
Oh
I
yeah.
hear you talk, right? And you give respect to, the Dagara people and it's like,
Hmm.
and that lineage, right? These different lights, these different, whether, and the ancestors
Yeah.
behind us,
Yeah.
behind all of us, it's
Yeah.
like these are all lights, right?
Yes.
These are lights in our darkest hour, right? And
Right.
we can be each other's lights, right?
Mm-hmm.
So sometimes it's like I'm when I'm not well,
Mm-hmm.
well, I need to have a game plan,
Yeah.
like, or right,
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
ideally I would
Yeah.
have a
Yeah.
game plan, and
Yeah.
maybe that's, whoa, I need to like lean into it. I got to get reconnected to Lance.
Hmm.
It's been way too long, or right, or maybe it's Emily. Oh, I haven't been in touch with Emily in a long time. I really need to get
Hmm.
that friendship going again. So for me, the friendship piece, accountability, and that whole thing. But as you were sharing, how do we show up and grieve together?
Hmm.
How do we show up and breathe together? How do we show up and just be together?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I want to add one final word, because I remember you saying this the night of the event in Flagstaff. And how do we celebrate
Mm.
the opportunity?
Yeah.
I remember you emphasizing how the celebration
Mm-hmm.
of like
Yes.
any of us,
Yeah. Yeah.
like, you know, any of us that walk away from this conversation
Hmm.
and say, you know what? I'm going to do 3 minutes on the floor today.
Yeah.
I'm going to sit for 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Hallelujah. Freaking
Yeah.
like there's
Yeah.
like, anyway, so like
Yeah.
there was no question there. But the connection and community and the accountability, I mean, say more about that. And
Mm.
as you and I are also visioning a men's retreat,
Yes.
probably two in
That'd be
2026,
great. Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
so
Yeah.
dates to be determined, but like part of that is this
Hmm.
like there's a deep need.
Yeah.
There's a deep need. We talked about, there's a Scott Galloway interview going around, and 1 out of 7, I'm gonna mess the
Yeah.
numbers up again, but 1 out of 7 men um have a friend that they can call.
Hmm.
1 out of 7. That means 6 out of 7 men
Right.
don't have a friend that they can call
Yeah.
right now.
Right. This is a crisis.
I mean, that's a freaking crisis,
Yeah. That's a crisis.
and
Yeah.
so like we want to, for me, I want us to know that we've got
Yeah.
family.
Yeah. Right.
Right? We have
Yeah.
family around,
Yeah.
extended family.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, what is possible when we're connected? So much more. So much more. It's not like, I mean, the synergy of 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 our collective spiritual strength is so much greater than the sum of its parts, right? I mean, us continuing in the lie that we're all individual people with no interconnection.
Mm.
And all of my success and failure rides entirely on me, by myself,
Right.
including my well-being.
Right.
That's not true.
Yeah.
And it's a recipe for total disaster, as we're seeing.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's really the crisis that we're experiencing, is this lack in the West, particularly, this lack of connection.
Mm-hmm.
So I think, as we start to sketch out what these retreats are going to look like, what I imagine we're going to do is we're going to introduce some practices, and they're not like, folks, I want you to hear this. Mm-hmm. If you feel called to come to this, we want to have you. And also, there's some part of your soul that already knows how to do this. It's not rocket science, but we're happy to help. So it's some of it's being quiet. Some of it is looking at our sorrow together, some being seen in those things, reconnecting with our bodies through breath and movement, and healthy consensual touch. I mean, it's not super complicated. These are things we've known for putting your bare feet on the earth in community with a group of people, looking each other in the eye, holding each other while we share what's going on with us. That was present in those workshops we did 17 years ago together.
Yes.
That's never not been present. When we're closest to truth, it's because we're doing things that our souls evolved to do over the last hundreds of thousands of years. Mm-hmm. Be together, support each other, have our feet on the ground, or our whole body on the ground. Eating meals together and sharing. And then there's also there are some tricks to how to relearn those things that we can do together that you and I can bring to a group. Because it does take some practice, but it doesn't take practice because it's like learning how to play golf. It's not some tricky thing. It takes practice to remember who we really are because we've been tricked out of it.
Yes. Say that again.
Yeah. It takes practice to remember who we are and what our birthright is, which is connection, because we've been tricked out of it. Yeah. That's the real thing.
Yeah.
And once you feel it, you know it.
Yeah. Total.
Yeah.
Total.
Yeah. You just go, this is what it is.
Yeah.
And then we'll also develop some practices for how to fortify that when you leave one of the container. You leave the container of a retreat, or you leave the container of a training or something. You go, how am I going to remember how to do that? We'll build on those practices too. So it gets fortified.
Total.
Yeah.
I mean, we might end up having a phase 2.
Yeah.
Where people come back for round 2.
I hope so.
Like where it'll be like round 1, and then round 2 will be in some other cool place.
The downward spiral down.
Yeah.
Let's go deeper.
Yeah. Dude, so good.
Yeah.
So good. I know, dude. So good.
I know it is.
So good. Yeah, for me, and I'll just chime in, like the draw is my having male friends has been one of the most impactful decisions I've made in my life. And I fortunately, and I don't know if that was how I was raised or whatever, but or if I just ended up moved across the country and then had to be intentional at growing friendships, or whatever. I don't know exactly. Or maybe it's just from the in utero. It might be a past reality that I came in, but it was like realizing how important finding men that want to dive in and being a man who can hold space, finding men who can hold space. And then, so for me, it's like, how can we continue to grow that awareness?
That's right. Yeah.
The holding space awareness. And dude, rock on. Yes.
Yeah.
Releasing some of the lies of separate.
Yeah.
This separation. It's just not. It's not real.
No, it's right.
It's not real.
No, it's not.
This is not real.
There is no such. You can't. What is it? You can't pull one atom out of the entire cosmos without the whole thing unraveling. Like we are connected.
We're all connected. We're
breathing the same air that they were breathing 250 years ago. Sometimes I almost lose control of the car as I'm driving down the road, thinking the water on this earth is older than the sun. It was flying through the cosmos on asteroids, hitting this lava planet, turning into steam and an atmosphere billions of years ago. And we're drinking it right now.
Yeah.
Like we are deep in a mysterious and magical, ongoing, interconnected universe. The whole idea that I'm just going to be me, just separate.
Yeah, I know.
Come on.
I know. Exactly.
You couldn't if you tried.
No.
And all it's creating is madness.
Yeah.
All it creates is a kind of insanity.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's happening in the world.
Totally.
I had this kind of dream, like back to the hope idea. I know we got to get close to it, but I had this dream that we could all at once just snap out of it.
Yeah.
Like everybody could just go, oh, I don't need to keep hating people or hurting people or myself.
Yeah.
We could all just go, we could all just snap out of it. Wow. And a miracle could happen.
Right.
We
could trust again.
Yeah.
That's freaking beautiful.
Yeah.
That's beautiful.
And back to
Right?
John and Macy, even if that's not, I'm going to work towards that.
Yeah, work toward.
I'm going to work towards like that.
Totally.
That thing could just happen.
Totally.
Yeah.
Totally. Because when things happen in Flagstaff and happen in Kokomo and happen in Hawaii and happen in Germany or where, right? I mean, we're as different pockets.
You were in that circle a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
November of 25.
Yeah.
And we were being held. I didn't share this in the group, but we were being held by people in the Pacific Northwest and North Carolina and a person in England and a group of men in St. Thomas.
Yeah.
They all knew what we were doing and they were holding us.
Yeah.
We're not disconnected.
Right. Yeah.
We are not alone.
No. No.
So,
and so let's lean back into it. Let's become back. Yeah. Let's become aware of it again.
Yeah. Let's remember.
Yeah.
Let's become members again.
Yeah. Amen.
Yeah.
Amen. Yeah, dude. So good. So good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are getting close to the close here. So two final questions to kind of thanks for being here.
Yeah, yeah.
Those of you who've dropped in, big love. Big love for sure. Yeah. Final two questions.
Yeah.
First one is a room of 20,000 people, right? This podcast keeps growing little by little.
Yeah.
It's not a fast expansion, but I pray that it might one day have a fast expansion.
Yeah.
And 20,000 listeners are going to drop in to this episode. You know, what do you want folks to walk away with wondering about, chewing on, journaling about, meditating on, walking with, like what is there a couple key things that are like, I just hope you know this, or anyway.
I mean, I wish I had the kind of poetry to say it differently than I have already, but one is absolutely, you are not alone. I guess I could say it the way Ram Dass said it years ago. He said, once you realize this, you will no longer need loneliness because you could never possibly be alone. It's impossible. So you are not alone. But if you want to practice and you don't know quite where to start, put a 3-minute timer on, sit your tail on a cushion of any kind, and ask yourself, who am I? And then don't ask anything else. Who am I? And just see what comes up. Just see what comes up. And then this will be the last thing, because I'm not great at giving advice, even hypothetical advice to 20,000 hypothetical folks. We talked about this. This is usually how I'd end those workshops that we would do. I'd talking to the kids and the adults. If you want to experience love. You want people to understand love them. You want to feel love. You want to feel heard, listen. If you do that, you create that space where you listen, you'll be amazed at the magic and how you start to feel heard. If you want to feel loved, you give love, it comes back to you. It's the reciprocity rule of the universe. It's magic. Yeah, so there you go. You're not alone. Who am I? Sit and listen to the answer. To love, to be loved, love. To be heard, listen. Yeah, that's what I share with folks.
Well, let's just breathe those in. Let's breathe those in. And then I'll have a one final question. A light question to close. Yeah. Not alone. Yeah. Who am I?
Yeah.
3 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah. Start small. Have patience. Dude, so many good Good downloads. So many good downloads. Um, you mentioned music,
Yeah.
and you did say Trevor Hall.
Mhm.
That's a pretty good song.
Yeah.
Definitely a really good song.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm you and I share music
Yeah.
often.
Yeah.
Yeah, any musicians, artists you're like really into right now, or that you're like,
Yeah. Yeah.
if somebody's finishing this episode and they're like, I need to throw on some jams to keep me in the like keep me like keep me in the zone.
I mean, you're not gonna do poorly by turning on, go to Spotify,
Yeah.
search for Trevor, do Trevor Hall radio, because the stuff that's going to be around Trevor Hall.
Okay.
I mean, Trevor Hall, one of the best things about him is not just, I don't know how, if you're a Trevor Hall fan, so
Yeah.
this happens to me all the time. I'll be listening to somebody
Yeah.
else, like a Rise in Appalachia,
Yep.
and boom, all of a sudden Trevor Hall's in the song. Like
Yeah,
he's collabs with so many people.
yeah. True. True.
Brett Dennen is a great
Mm.
artist that's kind of unknown.
Yeah.
Um, if you want good meditation music, like, I don't mean like you just want to drop into a zone. East Forest, fantastic.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
he's often played in yoga studios.
Yeah.
And in some people's psychedelic trips, I think.
Yeah, real.
You know,
Real.
I'm neither endorsing nor not endorsing any of that. But but East Forest, he's out there.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
Mm.
And then I mean, just because people know stuff, but this is not for the faint. This is not an easy entry. This is a bigger lift.
Yeah.
There's a piece out there on Spotify called Songs from the Bardo.
Okay.
By Laurie Anderson and Chogyal Tenzin. He's a Tibetan Australian musician, and this Songs for the Bardo. It's about an hour and 15 minutes. It's an album. I highly recommend getting a little campfire, putting the AirPods in, and just zoning in, because it's a journey. And there's a lot of spoken word, and it takes you on this. It's through this mythopoetic, in between lives Tibetan Buddhist experience. So the other stuff you can just listen to. This one is an experience. Yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Songs from the Bardo.
Okay.
Yeah, it's yeah. We'll talk more offline.
Yeah. That's so good. That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
Sounds amazing. Well, Lance, appreciate you.
Yeah.
Appreciate
yeah,
you.
brother.
And I did figure out in my brain this is episode 52.
Okay.
This is episode 52.
Yeah.
Of Our Healing Voices podcast and YouTube channel.
Man, what an honor to be on it.
Yeah, dude, just grateful that that we took the time today.
Yeah.
And I'm so excited to be on the journey with you.
Yeah, me too.
And
Me too.
excited for the upcoming men's retreats in 2026.
Yeah.
And those of you who dropped in today, keep an ear out, an eye out, and we'll definitely be getting information out to people.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for joining. Here's to you and your journey. May you continue to see how resilient you are already. Being here, showing up, like the resilience is off the charts. Like with anybody that we meet, what people have walked through, have overcome, have found their way through. So anyway, just cheering you on as you find your way forward, and whatever that looks like, and whatever paths you may choose, and whatever modalities speak to you, and whatever people and music and retreats you're drawn to, creative expression that you're drawn to. Anyway, just know that you got two brothers cheering you on with our hearts. So thanks for being here.
Yeah.
All right. Thanks, Lance.
Brother.